Flosstube friends, it's time for another episode. Hello everybody. It is another fun Friday Flosstube weekly update with me. I am Annie, Joyful Stitcher, both here on YouTube, Flosstube, and over on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining me this Friday evening. It's evening, it's 4:30 here in the central time zone of Texas. I think I said who I am. This is Flosstube number 85. Woo, 85. Like, I kind of like the ones that end in 5 They feel like more monumental. Whatever. And it is Friday, January the 1st, 2021. We made it. We made it. We made it. Happy 2021, everybody. Happy New Year. This has been a day of being a vegetative state. I am still in pajama pants and slippers. It's not rainy today, but it is chilly. It is dreary looking, and it's called Don't Go Anywhere because our numbers are out of control. That's all I'll say about that. So, welcome to all of you who are joining me again. I've had a little bit of an uptick in subscribers from doing my daily Flossmas videos. I think also a little bit from doing my 2-part whip parade. Thank you so much for your kind comments on the sheer nonsense that is the amount of whips I have. It is what it is, and I love starting each and every one of those things, and I will enjoy working on them when the time comes and they get, you know, pulled back into the situation. Thank you also so much for those of you that watched the end of yesterday's daily video where I shared about my vaccine, and for your comments, for your questions, for being appreciative of me sharing my layman's experience. I am not a medical professional. The extent of my medicalness is that I took Anatomy and Physiology 1 and a couple of biology and chemistry classes in college. So I have... all I know is what I have read in not mainstream media, but more the science community media. And I would encourage any of you that are considering it to, when it becomes available to your group, your subgroup, to do your research. That's what I did. I made my choice from an educated standpoint. It really did kind of make my heart soar when somebody said, thank you so much for sharing your experience. You changed my mind. I would still encourage that person to go and do your research too. Don't listen. I'm not a medical professional. No. I'm an educator of little people. So yeah, what do we have in store today on this fun Friday Flosstube weekly update? Well, since you saw all my whips, I have the 2 projects I've worked on since the second whip parade. I have a couple of things I've started. I'm going to show you a little bit of my knitting. I've got a tiny bit of haul, not much. And I'm going to open the remainder of the yarn because I realized it's going to end on the 6th. And then, but I don't want to have to figure out what was what day. So we're just going to open it all today. We're going to open it all today. Yes. And then we're going to talk some plans, being that this is a new year, a clean slate. So the first thing though, before we go into all of that, I want to real quick do a couple of add mini things. First, again, thank you so much for joining me for another video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Many of you have been with me for a long time. I call you my friends because we have kind of an ongoing dialogue, and I feel like you're a part of my life, and many of you let me be a part of yours in sharing common experiences. So if you're new, we're going to be friends soon. That's what I feel. And with that, I always, when I remember and don't have brain fog and forget, I give a hug each week, or most weeks it's 2 hugs, and then we hug ourselves. And so a lot of people have said they enjoy this. They love that I started it because they miss hugs, and these virtual hugs are helpful to them. They're helpful to me, and we all need some like vibes of human touch, even if you can't have the real deal. I'm excited because today was the sign up for StitchCon weekend. So I have signed up for weekend 1. I am hopeful that my Stitchy Bestie / StitchCon 2020 roomie is able to go. That's Erin T. Martini Stitcher. And so I can hug her neck. And there are so many people I want to hug their necks. Pam and Steph, I'm coming to hug your neck. We've talked about this. It's going to be epic. It might be in masks, but it's going to be epic hugs in masks, right? And then we can Lysol ourselves. Anywho, let's give some hugs, okay? Are we ready? Let's give some hugs. There's one hug. And yes, I make this noise when I hug people, just in real life. And then we get a big old hug to ourselves. Yes, I make that noise in real life when I hug people. So over the last kind of week, I've done 2 Pass the Stash charts in 2 different videos, and I've given you a keyword. One of them was either video, I think it was video 22 or 23 of my Flosstube series. So it's a Plum Street chart. Go check that out if you're interested. And then one earlier this week was a blue flower chart. And I gave you a word for that. I will pick the winners of those before my video next Friday. For the 2021 Christmas extravaganza deals from Flosstube 84, I will pick those before next week's video. I use random YouTube comment picker. You have to go through those videos and put the word or number that I've asked you to put. And there are some options in that video 84 for my international friends. So if you're as far behind as I am, I don't want you to miss out. So that's why I'm giving an extra week. I think as of today, I am on Flossmas Day 14. So I will be celebrating Flossmas probably through the month of January. And that is okay. I've said this before. I will say it again. I am a completionist by nature. If I add it to my playlist, it gets watched in order. So those of you that I watch, I'm behind. I'm consistently behind because there's so much amazing Flosstube. I don't want to miss anything. I have FOMO of missing things on my playlist. Okay, so that's that. I want to give big thank yous to those who have purchased me a fancy floss. I cannot remember if a lot has happened since last Friday. But I cannot remember if I mentioned, I don't think I did. I don't think I thanked those that had given me a fancy floss between the 18th and the 25th. So I'm going to thank them here. I also want to thank those that have subsequently given me fancy floss since this past Friday's video. So linked in the description box below is a Buy Me a Coffee link. I have mentioned before that I have a Buy Me a Coffee profile. I, however, do not drink coffee. I do go to Starbucks, but I get a warmed almond milk with sugar-free cinnamon dolce syrup. So no coffee. However, I changed mine to Buy Me a Fancy Floss. And so if you feel so inclined, I share something. A couple of folks have shared, thank you so much for the whip parades. I love whip parades. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Whatever it is, maybe I give you some an idea about a color palette or something. Whatever it is, there's no obligation. These are free and ad-free. I continue to make my videos ad-free because I know that it's nice to watch a long video with no ads. Now, I have asked you in the past to let me know if there are any ads, because from the terms of service update, it said that they could put in ads even if the channel is not monetized. And currently, my videos from end of October to now are not monetized. There should not be any ads in any of them. Let me know if there's an ad, so I need to investigate. Anywho, these folks gave me a fancy floss or more, and I want to shout them out because they are awesome. They have helped purchase some flosses. They've also purchased me some drinks at Starbucks. My warmed almond milk with sugar-free cinnamon dolce syrup. And they've also helped fund the Valentine's box from Be Stitch Me that will be coming sometime in February. So that will be fun to see. And the deposit on my spring solstice box from Bee Stitch Me. I did the epic fat quarter box. Those went live today. I don't know if they're still left. If you watch this today and you're interested in a Bee Stitch Me mystery box, I loved the winter box. I feel certain the spring box will be just as incredible. And there's basic, deluxe, and epic, different levels. And you can get fat eighths or fat quarters. So there's really something for any budget. And I know she said that she was going to be doing payment plans for those who need that. For me, I could have afforded it had a massive summer camp payment not come out today for Joy-Filled Little One. But that is another thing that I'm going to talk about in plans, is stash and things like that. Okay, so these are the folks that gave me fancy flosses. So on 12/18, someone, it's an anonymous, gave me 5 fancy flosses. So thank you if you were that person on December the 18th who chose to remain anonymous. Thank you so much. Colleen I gave me a fancy floss. Donna C gave me 10 fancy flosses. You rock, Donna. Thank you so much. Susan B gave me 7. That's incredible. Jamie J gave me 3. Thank you so much, Jamie. Mel in Amel gave me 1, which is so awesome. I mean, fancy floss is not cheap, yo. Thank you. Emily W gave me 5. Thank you so much, Emily. Carol B gave me 3. Thank you so much, Carol. Rose M gave me 1, which is fantastic. And Rose has given before. Thank you so much, Rose. Someone, again, who chose to remain anonymous gave me 1 on 12/29, so thank you so much if that was you. So Girly Julie gave me 1. Thank you, Julie. Thank you so much. Happy Handcraft Studio gave me 1. Thank you so much. I don't know your name, or I'd call you by name, but Happy Handcraft Studio. I love your name. Soli or Solly, Frog in My Stitches. I think it's Soli. Thank you so much for the fancy floss that you bought me, and I hope you're enjoying that Lowry stand that you got from me. Liz, the girl from Philly, thank you for the fancy floss. I really appreciate it. Sheila, I think it's Sheila B. It's spelled Sheila, but I think we've had this conversation before that it's Sheila. Thank you for the 5 fancy floss. It means so much to me. It really does. Susan R. That's Susan Radford. Thank you so much. It won't go to my project bags, I promise. Thank you for the fancy flosses. Sharon J. and Lynette D. both bought me fancy flosses today. Thank you so much, Sharon and Lynette. I really appreciate that. And Claudia S. I nearly fell out on the floor when the alert came through my email that she purchased me 20 fancy flosses. My heart was bursting. I just am continually amazed by the generosity of this community. I truly believe in pay it forward. I love passing things along to y'all. I love doing my Christmas giveaways. I am behind on shipping out a lot of giveaways, so I do apologize if you have won something and it's not been sent out. That is on my agenda this weekend to get completely caught up on those before I select new winners. Honestly, December is a whirlwind. I blinked and it was over. So I do apologize. In the future, I will try to be more on top of it. So thank you so much. So if that also goes to help with the postage on sending things out. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And one more administrative thing, but it's stitchy. This is all stitchy, but this is super exciting stitchy because I have to share this with you. I've shared it with you once before, but I must share it again. And here's why I must share it again, because it's coming soon. Where did I put this? Oh, down here. Okay. So I've already put it. We're having an avalanche. It's Caterpillar cross stitch, folks. And there is a new stitch along coming at the end of this month. First release, I believe, is January 25th, I believe. And it is called their Made to Create Stitch Along. Sally at Caterpillar Cross Stitch reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in participating, that she would send me a kit. She sent me a kit. Of course I'm interested in participating. The sneak peeks that she showed are phenomenal. So what's really cool is if you're interested in stitching along, whether you'd like a full kit or a PDF, I have a coupon code for you. So if you are interested in either the full kit, the needle minder is extra, but they are so good. They are top quality. I highly recommend them. I have so many of theirs that I purchased even before getting them with kits. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Full kit and or PDF. The full kit comes with DMC floss already pre-cut and carded, which is fantastic. It comes with your choice of cross-stitch fabric. I believe for this kit, they're neutral. They're slightly different in tones. I went with the cut, the count, and the tone that I liked. So there's, I believe, a 14 count Aida, a 16 count Aida, and a 32 count even weave. I went with the 16 count Aida, so it's this really pretty neutral Aida. I will be stitching on this because look at those colors popping on that. So full kit, and then when the releases come, they will be emailed to you in PDF form. So full kit or PDF, you will go to the link that I put in the description box below, and you will use the code JOYFILLED10, JOYFILLED 10, and that will be down there so that you can even just copy and paste it over. And then the needle minder is so cute. It says made to create with that like metallic detailing. I love the little heart at the top. So cute. So I'm super excited to start this towards the end of January. I want all of you to come and stitch along. It's crafter related, so all of us multi-crafty folks, it's not just cross stitch related. So it's going to have some elements of other things as well. So excited. One of the sneaks is the bobbin, and it looks nearly just like this stitched, which is going to be so much fun to stitch. I'm excited about it. So yeah, please go over to Caterpillar Cross Stitch and check it out. But I wanted to talk about that very first. Dude, I haven't even shown any of my stitching yet, and we're 17 minutes in. It can be a long one. I just can't make a short video. It's just not possible. So let's talk about what I stitched on since Whip Parade. So I did pull out Seeking Solace. Seeking Solace is my Long Dog Leaf Day Sow. So this is from Long Dog Samplers from their collection 2017. So if you go to her website, she has, in the drop-down menu, she actually has one that's called Collection with a K. It is a collection of 9 unreleased charts in any other way. Like to get those 9 charts, you have to buy them through the collection. It's a great deal. I think they end up being about £3 a piece. And this is one of them. And so it says, Father, hear the prayer we offer, not for, I have to read this front ways, not for ease that prayer shall be, but for strength that we may ever live our lives courageously. Be our strength in hours of weakness, in our wanderings, be our guide. Through endeavor, failure, danger, Father, be thou at our side. And I started this last February the 28th with the goal to finish it by the next leap year. So that would be 2024. This is an 8-page chart, which means I need to finish 2 in a year. I didn't even get 1 finished this year. So 2021, I got to book it a little bit more on this. I need to make up some lost time. But some of that was because I was on a fabric I did not enjoy. And I realized this border is not what drew me to this. It's the words and the motifs. So I restarted on a different piece of fabric and I'm cutting out that border. So this is on 20 count. 20 count Aida is like now my new jam. Color and cotton. So if you know hand dyers that do 20 count, let me know. I know Color and Cotton does. I already get their fabric of the month in 20 count. Bee Stitch Me does. But I don't know who else. Anywho, this is light brown sugar. And I am not far from a page 1 finish, I think. This is not a very large Long Dog. With the border, it's 293 by 191. So it's not anywhere near the size of Pandemic, and you're losing a good close to maybe 15, 20 stitches on all sides from the border. So I did like also that this is a horizontal orientation. A lot of her charts are vertical, which is totally cool, but I like that it's something different. And I love it on this fabric. I pulled flosses from, it's charted, I think, in Gentle Arts, but I didn't have them. I pulled flosses from my stash that are close. And then the big change that I am doing is instead of doing the words in kind of the dark russety red, I'm doing them in hot pink. Because why not? Why not? Why not? So yeah, I worked on that a little bit on the 29th. And then I did work some more on 12 Days of Christmas Satsuma Street. I will say this, I've decided that each year until this is finished, I'm going to try to put a little bit into it for each of the 12 days up until January 6th. So I still do need to put some in today. And so I have finished Partridge in a Pear Tree. I am working on 2 turtle doves. I'm working them in order because the birds are my least favorite, except I do love the French hen. The birds are my least favorite. I cannot wait till I get down here to like the swan and the geese and these girls and the humans, the animated humans. So anyway, it is still on one of my small hoops. I am still working through that. I had switched these over from the 36 count linen. So there's number 1 to an 18 count white Aida. So it's going much faster. And this is in an Evertote bag from Caroline Off the Grid Needle Arts. Those are the only 2 things I stitched on that were not new starts. So I guess let's show new starts. So I have 2 new starts. The first of which I started yesterday, and it's my first full coverage from Heaven and Earth Designs. The reason why I say it's first full coverage from them is technically my Sleeping Beauty from Donna Stitch is a full coverage. And this is Quick Stitch Hazel's World Giraffe, and it's artwork by Dakota Detweiler. And it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is a very small stitch. It is 118 by 207. In terms of Heaven and Earth Designs, that is small. And I am on 25 count Lugana, 1/1 full cross. So that's what I have so far. So I did about 300 stitches. And I'm just kind of color completing in a section. I'm not doing block by block. There is a bunch of confetti left in this block. I do not understand parking. It does not work well with my brain. I probably will understand it and figure out a rhythm for me, but I'm not there yet. So, I'm just going along, grooving along. And then my start from today, and it does not have much in it because this is a chart that is not scanned in. It is a lot of backstitch and fractionals. It's a massive chart, and I don't work off paper copy. I just can't do it. So I did put some in because I wanted to start it today, and then I'll put some more in once I can get a copy going. So this is a Busilla kit. Mary Engelbright, Walk Toward the Sunshine. Garrett Coffee Stitcher is stitching this one. It's where I saw it. I think he was gifted it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that saying, 1. 2, I need to find it. It's so cute. And so I looked and looked. I finally had an alert on eBay, and it popped up, and so I purchased it then. It was originally a kit at Michael's for $9.99. I paid a little bit more than that. Not much, but a little bit more. So anyway, this is a full kit. So it comes with the cotton thread, the Busilla cotton thread, and it comes with white Aida. So all of this pink is stitched. I went, no thank you. No thank you when I have pink fabric. So a lot of my time yesterday, and why there was not much stitching, was taking the massive wad of Busilla strands and separating them and carding them. And I didn't get enough cards. They give you slots for 24. There are far more than 24 in here. So I put, this is all the pink that was supposed to be in there. I didn't get rid of it because I think there's pink within as well, but I'm not stitching the outside pink. So I went through, and nothing's labeled. So you have to go, is that pale or is that paler? Is that palest? Is that a peach or is that a tan? So my brain hurts after doing this. So anyway, it's got like 5 skin colors. They're all very white, very peachy. And then I had to card the rest on just my little random gift tags I got off of Amazon. And then I decided I'm going to put this on a fancy floss drop since I have some. And this one was from my Stitch Toolbox. Sorry. It's Christmas. It doesn't relate whatsoever, but it's beautiful. And this was from my Stitch Toolbox December Mystery. So, worked on that a lot yesterday. And I decided I had pink. I had pink Ada, and I was thinking about it, but then I really looked at how many fractionals there were. And I was like, if I have even weave and pink, I'm going to go there first because that makes fractionals so much easier. So I went ahead and started it on this 32 count Bee Stitch Me in blush. This is one of the colors in the umbrella handle. And I don't know why, but I love the sunshine and the golden girls. And so that's my needle minder. Mad for Minders is where I got that on Etsy. So there is my teeny tiny infinitesimal start. But I wanted to start it today because I think that's a great thought process for me is just keep walking toward the sunshine. And the shadows are going to fall behind you. Yes, and plus red polka dot umbrella. And that's kind of my hair color. Kind of. I just think it's so cute. So I'm excited, and I'm excited that I found pink fabric already in my stash so that I did not have to stitch all that pink. Speaking of stash, we're not going to do stash yet. But I will say, before I forget, because it's not in my notes. I hand wrote my notes because I was feeling like, what am I going to talk about? You will notice a lot of my clubs are going away. I really enjoyed getting different mystery boxes this year. So I'm kind of trying to reallocate my funds in that direction. I'm keeping some of my most favorite. So my Color and Cotton that I get from Color and Cotton, I am keeping 20 count Ada. I think I sized down to a fat 1/8 and still neutral. I'm keeping my my floss through them as well. I had already dropped my nest egg down to just Gentle Arts, the 10-yard skeins, because I find I use it the most. And so I'm keeping that. And then I did sign up for Crazy Annie's through their Facebook. I signed up for their Color and Cotton fabric of the month because they tell you exactly which colors you're going to get. So I actually signed up for 2 different options. I signed up for a 20 count Ada and an 18 count Ada. And I believe I did the 20 count as neutral and the 18 count as the color because there were so many good options in both. And so I really did. And I like both 20 and 18 count. So I'm going to build my stash this year through those 3 clubs. I am keeping Bee Stitch Me for now. But I got rid of a bunch of other things. And I don't intend on buying much beyond my auto ships. So I do have an auto ship set up for the chalkword ones. The winter was my first one for that one. And I did that through Trish at 3 Owl Threads. And then I also have, I just signed up for the auto ship of the new Heartstring Samplery series, which is called Sunday Stitching or Sunday's Stitching. And the first one is Words from Amazing Grace. And so they're all hymn related. And I was like, yes, sign up for those. That's through Crazy Annie's Crazy Stitchers group on Facebook. But yes, a lot of my other stuff. I did decide to take a break from Garon tote bags. So somebody got my spot, which is awesome. I wanted it to go to somebody fantastic. It made me sad, but I did fulfill my year's commitment. I did get my bag, but we're not supposed to show it till the 5th. So I will show it next week. It's awesome. And then I dropped some other ones that I'd even, like, I think I signed up for some, like, going into the new year, and I dropped them before the year started. Camp's expensive, guys, and if I'm wanting to go to StitchCon, I gotta stitch from stash this year. And so I'm not officially doing Stitch from Stash, but besides the auto ship things and the kind of monthly boxes or bi-monthly boxes that I've signed up for, I'm out on everything else. So yeah, there might not be as much stash, but that is what it is. I need to stitch from what I've got. I've got so many amazing things. I've got to stitch from my whips. So yeah. And I've realized that very little of what I've purchased is gonna be like, oh, you can't ever get it again. Like, I think the Black Needle Society There are some things in that are not available anywhere else. And so for that respect, I love the curated boxes. That being said, they're really the main company that I'm going to be purchasing them from, because their customer service is top-notch, impeccable. I can't say the same for all the others. And so that's kind of my main one. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else other than Brandy at Stitch Me. Hers are fantastic, but hers is not a subscription based. It's you purchase the ones you're interested in. So yeah, that's what she wrote about that. So I think we're gonna do an open some yarn real quick. So this is a Advent, small Advent, a half Advent. It was 12 skeins or 12 bags, and collaboration with my local yarn shop, Dye to Spin and Foxbane Fibers. And I decided, since I had already had 2 yarn Advents, that I would open this one for the 12 days of Christmas. So I have some more to open today, and we're going to open the rest. We're just going to bust them all out and open them all up. Let's see. So let's start with day 8. And I'm tempted to, these things are knotted so well that I'm tempted to just cut them open. I'm not keeping the bags because they leave little stringies, little polyester stringies everywhere. And so we're going gangbusters here. Ooh. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Ooh. Okay, now this one has a sandal. So the one yesterday was supposed to have a sandal charm. I think today's has a sandal charm. This is Foxbane Fibers, the Very Hungry Caterpillar. That is the Very Hungry Caterpillar. And the card doubles as a bookmark. It's a crumpled bookmark, but look, and it even has yarn on it. So cool. And it has some book recommendations. So that's cool. But that is so Very Hungry Caterpillar. That looks like the cover of that book by Eric Carle. All right, let's get rid of that bag. All right. Get my scissors out. Let's get ruthless. Let's cut this open. We're just going ruthless on this. Well, that didn't help. Oy vey. I should have been more prepared, folks. But you know what? Today was the day I felt like just laying on my couch and doing nothing. But I cleaned, and we put all the Christmas toys away. So yeah. All right, so this is Dye to Spin. That's pretty. Godric. And this is a colorway inspired by Gryffindor House from Harry Potter. And it says the most magical thing about this yarn is the magical swirl that will appear when working socks, mittens, or anything with a tubular construction. The swirl for Godric is burgundy, while the gold and brown stripes remain horizontal. That'll be interesting to see. I don't know what I'll stitch with it. It's got a QR code for some of the patterns. Now I have found that some of these QR codes are in yellow and my reader won't read them. So I've reached out to see, can you tell me? They're free patterns, but I want to know what they had in mind. Oh, I got a coupon for 15% off. Dye to Spin, regularly priced item in person at my local yarn shop. Yay! Thank you, Julie. I don't know if she watches me on the regular, but thank you, Julie, if you do. Let's go. Ruthless. Open it up. See the pretty yarn. Ooh, this one has 2. Bonus. Bonus yarn. Okay, so this has 2. It has a Dye to Spin, Pesky Pixie, and Foxbane Fibers Smelly Cat. So, I'm wondering. Okay, this is Pesky Pixie. And the reason why I knew that, see, these bags create these little silver strings. It says it's one of the most popular happy accidents. When Ashley, she's the dyer, was dyeing yarn in the dark one morning. That sounds like an accident waiting to happen if it was me. She reached for 2 out of 3 of the dyes to use for her intended colorway, but reached for the wrong color as the 3rd. After applying the dye and walking away, she took the yarn out of the pot and realized her mistake. But what a gorgeous mistake it was. Burgundy, blue, green, and periwinkle come together to make the deep and mysterious Pesky Pixie. That one has a QR code. And then this one, this is Smelly Cat. Smelly cat, smelly cat. What are they feeding you? Because Smelly Cat is a song and not an actual character from Friends, Kirsten had to get creative to put colors to the words. First, she thought about the lyrics of the song and imagined a nuclear cat, which is where the bright green and orange come into play. Since Phoebe holds a gray cat in her music video for Smelly Cat, that's why the gray serves as a break from the intense green and yellow. It's not your fault. I have a deep and abiding love for all things Friends, so this is like totally my jam. I need a whole Advent that's just Friends inspired. Just saying. Like, all the good things. I mean, this is kind of that way. It's like half. I need like a 24-day. Yep. You said you. All right. What's in the... Ooh, this is another one with Stellina yarn, which is kind of cool as it has sparkle. And it has extra little strands of gray bag. Okay. Ooh, and it has a pretty stitch marker too, or progress keeper. Look at how pretty that is. Cooperate. It's like a multi-tonal leaf. So this is Foxbane Fibers Spudnik. And it says, in an episode of Friends, the one with the Halloween party, for those interested, Ross tries to put a punny spin on the Russian spacecraft from the 50s, I remember this, by dressing up as a potato and places an antenna on his head. I think it was a colander kind of a thing. He sadly has to explain the costume to the rest of the crew and describes it as a potato or a spud and hopes that they'll make the connection that he's Spudnik as opposed to Sputnik. Spudnik. Joey says he dressed up as Duty. Sparkly Duty. It's Sparkly Duty. So good. I love it. That's awesome. All right, last one. Womp womp. Womp womp womp. Open, 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 open. Open, 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 open. Yay! Oh, it's got 2 in it. I knew there was going to be 14 mini skeins, so I just didn't know where the two were going to be. Oh, my stars, these little gray strings. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I got to figure out which one's which. Okay, this one. I have this one in a fingering weight. I have this one from Dye to Spin that I got in a fingering weight from Juju Knits. I remember this one now. This is Dye to Spin's Ron and Hermione Forever. I might help if I was in the screen. It's so pretty. Look at that. It says, Ashley loves the story of Ron and Hermione falling in love. She often says it was love at first fight. Ron is represented by the strong orange gold and the prominent teal. Hermione can't be missed with her signature lavender, burgundy, and lovely creamy ecru. One cannot do without the other in the story and the skein. Often, this colorway is called the umami, I think it's umami, of yarn for its impeccable color balance. It's so pretty. Like, I have this in a full skein of fingering because it's just that good. All right, so last one. This is Foxbane Fibers Sneeze Muffin from the Friends collection. So it says, a smile goes a long way, and if anyone is ever rude to you, Sneeze Muffin, Rachel Green. Kirsten wanted to create a colorway that embraced the yumminess of a blueberry muffins minus the snotty part. To accompany this, she started with a buttery batter of soft yellow, then layered in some lilac and added specks of violet and purple. So when you're working this color, it ends up looking like the inside of a blueberry muffin. That's awesome. Sneeze Muffin. That's so good. Oh, this was so good. Oh my gosh, so good. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this because the colors are kind of all over the place, but all over the place in an amazing way. Like, look at this. It's just a box of fun now. Oh, so good. Okay, so that's that. Let me get rid of all these. Oh, I've got these little silver strings all over me. Get me. It's like glitter. Ooh. Okay, so yarn. I had a finish that I forgot to show. This is Let the Yarn Do the Work. Let the Yarn Do the Work Shawlette by Lee S.K. Davidson. So it's really pretty. I found this one on Ravelry. And I knit this in Molly Klein Designs, which she is Sweet Tea Yarns. She had a Wishing for Rhinebeck that I did in a DK. This is all I had left. So it is like the perfect shawlette. It is not blocked. It needs blocking because it's just a little ruffly cutesy shawlette. But look at how pretty that is turned out. I love how the colors pool in certain places. But yes, it definitely needs blocking. But I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And I love the ruffle down here. Oh my gosh, there was so much bind off because there were like, it quadrupled the stitches from here to here. I think it was like 900 stitches by the end, but so good. It's my bonnet with all the frills upon it. Shall I finish the rest of my video like this? One of those is probably going to be my screen grab. Who knows? We'll see. So that is finished. It needs to be blocked. I don't have any blocking gear. I've been an off and on knitter since I was 23, and I have nothing to block things with. So if you are a knitter and have some tools that you really like, please give me a shout. Let me know. Because I want to get good stuff. I like bought a cheap Swift, and then I ended up going, this is trash. Because I bought just a plasticky metal one off of Amazon because I was like, meh. And then I ended up buying the nice birch wood one off of Knit Picks. If I just bought that one first, it would have been so much better. All right, let me quickly show you my Land of Sweets cowl and where I am so far with that. I am knitting this up with my White Elephant Advent from, oh my gosh, my brain just emptied of all information. You're shouting it at me too. Forbidden Fiber Company, Leanne. So I chose to forego the chart that came with that box because I just could not get my head wrapped around it. Someday. So I instead chose the Land of Sweets cowl by Helen Stewart. And so I am working through this color by color. I am currently working with Snuggie. So all of the colorways were based off of like White Elephant gifts. So here is Snuggie. That's what I'm using right now. It's really pretty. And I had just finished Golden Girl Chia Pet. So I love it. It is so good. And it's lightweight yarn. So this will be a great fall piece all the way through to winter. I love it. And they're all really autumnal and jewel. So I think it's going to be super fun. This will not be the last one of these that I knit. So I am in the lace sections. They're a hot mess. From far away, they look okay. From up close, they're like, no, it's a train wreck. So don't look. Because I'm still learning. And that's okay. I just am going to continue to learn. And I like having this out every now and again. In the mornings, I really like to knit. And so, yeah. All right, so now let's chat plans. First things first. This is my empty 2021 Stitchy planner. Empty. Like, I have done nothing with it. So some of what I want to do this weekend is get that figured out. Anybody else having extreme brain bogglement with having basically like a blank slate? Because I have no real events this month. So I really liked the concept behind Whip Wranglers. I liked that I picked 20 of my whips and I worked on them. And I really liked that concept. And I think it got me progress in some projects I have not had before. So I am thinking of doing something like that each month. Picking maybe not 20, but maybe 15. And spending 2 days on each. And going in the order that they ask or whatever. And obviously my Whip Go projects for the month would be on that list. So yeah. I wouldn't do all the months ahead of time. I would do it month by month and look at what has a birthday, what is something that like maybe has a deadline, what is something that's a long term, like I need to get more time in it, like Seeking Solace. What are my ones I touch every month on any specific date? What are my Whip Go pieces? Things like that. And so I think I'm going to do a spin on that because I need something to wrangle in all of these whips and touch them all not just on their birthday. Because like the things that I started yesterday, if I only touch it on its birthday, it won't get touched again for a year. A year. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. So yeah, I do need to work on Prairie Birds. That is for, that's birthday was yesterday, and I didn't get to it. I did not. That Busilicate took me so long, and I wanted to get started on the Heaven and Earth design, and no lie, after the driving to and from Dallas in the rain, I was pooped. I was pooped. We celebrated New Year's at 7:30. And then I made it a little bit longer, and then I fell asleep with my iPad in my hands watching Flosstube. Today, Count Your Blessings by Long Dog Samplers has a birthday, and Great Is Thy Faithfulness. So I need to work on both of those this evening, which is cool. I love both of them. And I am starting today the big Semi-Sane year-long event. Last year they did Alphabet Soup. This year they're doing Alpha My Bets. So they asked you to pick a alphabet chart that you will work on a letter for every 2 weeks. Well, I have had this selection of charts in my stash for quite some time, and I won them, and they're seasonal. So I decided they're really small. I'm going to work on all 5 of these. And so for the next 2 weeks, I need to finish A on all of them. So we've got Bird in Hand Winter. So I'm going to work on A, and I'll probably go ahead and work on the border for this one. I'll kind of do a big detail on at least one of them during the 2-week period. Then we've got Bird in Hand Christmas, Bird in Hand Spring. I love that little chickie. Bird in Hand Summer, and Bird in Hand Thanksgiving. So I've got those 5. I pulled colors that I had that were called for or from stash, and I'm putting these all on 20 Count Peanut from Be Stitch Me. So yeah, one of those is getting started today. I think I'm going to start with winter because we're in winter, so that makes sense. So let's put that over there. Tomorrow I am starting, because I can't resist, and this is an I Love You More Studio Co pouch. That was in a Diana bag. I forgot to show it. Sorry, Diana. It is Kismet Stitches. I'm going to start the Blue Flowers Winter Blooms. This came in my Black Needle Society. There's a fuzzy on that too. Black Needle Society Nice List box. So it came with the chart. It came with the 40 count driftwood. I am going to stitch on the 40 count. And it came with the fancy flosses. I pulled the DMC that I had. I think I am missing 2 colors. So I can definitely get started on it, but I wanted to get this one started. So that is coming tomorrow. On the 3rd, I go back to work on the 4th. I think the new starts are stopping on the 3rd. I am starting, this isn't a Diana, it is Kismet Stitches bag. This is Lindy Stitch's new Stitch Along that she is doing. It's a 4-parter. I think I showed this in my video yesterday, but I am starting Funky Menagerie on the 3rd. And I am missing a few colors from this as well, but I think I'm just going to pull from stash. So then I've got some other projects with birthdays. On the 4th, I have my Linens and Threads Mystery Sampler, which is good because that gives me some time to figure out how I want to get my brain back wrapped around that project. Also on that day is my Donna Stitch Sleeping Beauty, which is a very large piece. And then on the 5th, I have Animal Almanac. So Joyful Little One and I are going to sit down, look at the remaining animals, and she's going to pick a few that she would like. I don't need to stitch them all. Because there were some months she was like, meh, meh, meh. But there's some that she's like, yes. And like the reindeer for sure. So yeah, those are my starts. So now let me show you what the projects for Whip Go are this month. The numbers were 6, 13, and 18. So 6 for me is Tree of Magic by Barbara Anna Designs, kitted by Nitka Moscow. This lives in a Love You More Studio Co sleeve. And this is on 20 count, no. Sorry, that's not right. 18 count color and cotton in Caraway. And that's what I have so far. So my goal for this is for the year, not just in the month of January. My Whip Go goals are for the entire year. My goal on this, I think, is 14 days. So if I get 2 to 3 days on this month, I will be good. I will feel good because I'll have, you know, a bit of a, like, I mean, I need only 1 day a month, but I like to get a few in because I really liked working on that for Whip Wranglers. My other one, and this is a 7-day project, 7-day or finish, is Luminous Fiber Arts Berry Buzz. So this is small. This is on 18 count Ariel from Picture This Plus. And that's what I have so far. And I am in the called for like Weeks Dye Works. I think there's some DMC. And this is a cute bag I sewed with some gnome fabric I got at Joann's. All right, so then real quick, I do intend to cast on a pair of socks. I'm waiting on a pair of needles with long cables. I had this from a D-stash and I wanted to use the stripy sock yarn. So this is Kiss the Girl from Nomadic Yarns. I got this off of someone's D-stash. It is so good. So I'm excited about that. I have my 9-inch because I'm going to knit them on the 9-inch circulars. But for the chart that the pattern I want to use, it calls for starting magic loop, which means I need a longer circular. So what will be nice is I'll be able to cast on a set with magic loop and then transfer it over to the 9-inch, cast on the second one, because I already know I'm going to end up with single socks. I have 100 and bajillion whips. I'm going to end up with single socks. And this is in a Spectacular Yarns bag that I got that came with a sock set. Or it is sock yarn, but it's a fade set or summer bright set. That's going to be for something, but I'm into stitching not those colors right now. All right, these are future plans. As those of you have been with me for a while, I am stitching the Noah's Christmas Arc series for my mom. I am straddling 2 charts this year. So this year I will be doing honeybees. So I finished doves this year. I will be doing honeybees. And I will probably go ahead and do whales. And so I will be starting one of these pretty soon. They're pretty quick stitches. That whales is basically full coverage. So that'll be interesting. But I'm going to go ahead and do that one. Squirrels would be my, like, draw. But I want to do the whales. I like the whales. And then my other series I wanted to start this year, this is an I Love You More Studio Co. sleeve that's so cute, is the Whirligigs. And so I'm going to start these on the first day of each season. So spring, I will start on the first day of spring in March. These are not in order. Summer, I will start on the first day of summer in June. Still not in order. Autumn, I will start on the first day of autumn in September. And then winter, I will start on the first day of winter in December. And so my hope would be that these are pretty quick stitches, all except maybe the winter, because it gets started so late. These would all maybe be finished within the year. Yay! So that's Whirligigs. So I think, let me check my notes, but I think that's all I had to say about plans. Oh, I am going to work on my planner, getting it set up. And my big groups, I will say the groups that I am most going to be participating in this year are WIPGO. Anybody that's interested, there is a Facebook group. Just search WIPGO, W-I-P, like work in progress, G-O, 2021. It is the incredible idea that Jessie Marie came up with several years ago. She introduced it to the Stitchy community last year. It blew up, and it's awesome. I love it. It doesn't mean that I did a very good job last year, but I had unrealistic goals for how I stitch. I focused on finishes. I realized I am not a product stitcher. I'm a progress. I like the process of stitching. So for me, my goals need to be more based on time or number of stitches, which for me it's time because I'm not counting stitches unless absolutely necessary. Like Whip Wranglers, I had to count stitches. I'm not a finish driven person. I do get to that passionate finishing phase where I'm like, yes, I want to get this finished. And I did that a lot this Christmas time. But overall, not in general. All right, so that brings us to our last segment, which is Joy-Filled Stashy Stash time. I haven't done that in a while. I don't even know that I got to do that last video. I remembered it though. All right, so the first thing I did was I placed an order after I got my hoops in, and then everybody was like, the hoops, they're awesome. And I knew which sizes I was going to use most. Now, the 6-inch is out of stock. I think everybody likes the 6-inch. That's okay. I'm just waiting for it to come back in stock. They don't have these anywhere at any of my Joann's around me. So I'm doing order online and have them shipped to me. So I bought some more of the top notch hoops. Your Joann's might have these. Mine does not. I was alerted to these by Kia B. That after I shared that I loved Nerge hoops, these are Nerge. I'll show you. They are branded Nerge hoops, but they are tagged top notch. If you are ordering them online, they are listed as the premium embroidery hoops. So what I did was I searched embroidery hoops, and then I looked for the ones that are premium, and you can know which ones they are because they have this little triangular slope. And you can see that in the picture. There's nothing else identifying them as top notch, as Nerge. They're either $4.99 or $5.99. You can use a coupon if they have like a coupon off your purchase or off of one. I didn't use my coupon on this. I have an awesome pair of Ginger snips that I have subsequently moved in there, but I want a pair in here. And so I got these really pretty Ginger epaulette embroidery scissors. They're 3.5 inch. They are super sharp. But I used my 40% off on these, and it brought them down to like $14.99. So these were a little belated Christmas present for myself. So I got those. I placed an order with Treehouse Knits because I had a coupon code from one of my previous orders, and I had been eyeballing this. This is her Lighthouse mini set. It's a fade. Look at that. I'll show you from the back. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That's some dying genius right there. Like, to get that fade, it's so good. I have a couple of ideas on patterns, but obviously this is just going into my stash for right now. I had a freak out moment. So when I put it in my bin after it came in the mail, it got jumbled and I went, oh, like that it wasn't going to be in the right order. And then I had to get this. It's so good. This is Elsa and Anna. Look at that. Joyful Little One has not seen this yet. Like that right there, look. Oh, it's so good. Joyful Little One has not seen this yet. It's probably a good thing because I might never see it again if she sees it. She would go and like sequester it away until she's a good enough knitter to knit it herself. Which, by the way, I taught her to knit. She has done 3 rows on a dishcloth. I think that she thought because I knit pretty fast that like, oh, that's no big deal. She's like, I'm knitting, I'm knitting, I'm knitting. She's like, am I doing good? I'm like, yeah, you're doing great. And she's like, I'm knitting, I'm knitting, I'm knitting. And she goes, now what? I was like, turn around and go back the other way. I'm knitting, I'm knitting, I'm knitting, I'm knitting, I'm knitting, I'm knitting. Oh, look, I finished a row. Now what? Turn around and go back the other way. She's really into making pot holders now. I don't think she realized just how much effort went into like that shawl that I knit. She just sees me knitting on it like for a few minutes here and there, and you know, it grows because I'm doing it on my lunch break at work, or I'm doing it like while I'm waiting in line at whatever. She doesn't see the whole process. She sees these little snippets and it's just like, boom, it grew. Boom, it grew. She had no clue. So she's really enjoying her pot holder loom. Yeah. Then I placed an order with Sweet Tea Yarns, which is Molly Klein Designs. I will show you her tag. And she had a deal that if you bought 3 skeins, you got 1 free. That was a no-brainer because there were some I already had in my favorites list. So Sweet Tea Yarns, you can find her at mollykleindesigns.etsy.com. This is her Darling Decay, which is what I did the Let the Yarn Do the Work. Super squishy, super awesome to knit with. This is Autumn in New York. I could not resist that. How gorgeous is that? Oh my gosh, look at that. Love it. And then for my other 2, I had this one in my cart, but I got 2 of them. And this is Anastasia or Anastasia. I got 2 of this. This is also in the DK. Look at that. This is another one that Joyful Little One has not seen yet. Oh my gosh, I love it. So good. Love the color combination. Yeah. So then when my package came, I got not one free skein, but 2. Now they're 50 grams, but I don't care. It still is awesome. So I got 2 50-gram skeins of Sweet Sock in silver lining and magenta. I love that. I could totally do something with that. Hey, how about some mismatched socks? One sock, the other sock. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but they're beautiful and I love them together. So thank you so much, Molly. I love it. I don't know if she watches me on the regular, but thank you so much. Thank you to all my amazing artistic folks out there who make all these beautiful things. That's the thing is I've got to, like, Lauren at Treehouse Knits, you get pajama pants. She put up her January mystery yarn. The picture is so good. And I messaged her and I went, did you see she put up the January one? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, I'm trying to resist. And I was like, me too. I don't know if she bought it yet or not. I need to check in with her and say, have you resisted? Because that was like yesterday. Anywho. The very last thing that I have not gotten to do in a while is share with you a Teresa Kogut Angel Kindness card. And this is an hour and 1 minute. Oh my goodness. I would have been like 30 minutes. I'm out of here. No, not today. Angel Kindness cards from Teresa Kogut. These are beautiful. I love them. I love her artwork. So you get these awesome cards. And they have a sentiment on the back. One of her original pieces of art on the front. They're good, like quality cardstock. Like glossy card. You could easily give these to people. Maybe they're having a bad day. Whatever the case may be. Or do like I do and share one with you each week. So I picked this one. I love this one. It says Glory, Glory. And on the back it says, practice leads to mastery. Mastery brings you closer to the divine. So I'm going to say that again because I messed it up. Practice leads to mastery. Mastery brings you closer to the divine. So I look at all of this stitching that we all do and how much practice it takes. I mean, I look at some of my stitchy friends and I go, oh my gosh, that is so incredibly perfect. It looks like a machine did it. And then I look at mine and go, woo. But the more that we do it, the more that it's like it improves, the muscle memory improves. And I think that was something that was big when I was working with Joyful Little One on her knitting. Is she was like, Mommy, how are you so fast? I said, honey, my hands just know what to do. They just sit down, they hold the needles, and they know what to do. Because I've been doing it so much. I said, what works for me, my process, and how I throw the yarn, and yes, I'm a yarn thrower, might not be the same for you. And that's okay. You're going to develop your own process. I don't knit the same way that the other person who was in my class with me does, or the instructor who taught me. And I think that's what's really neat. And same thing with stitching, is we all have what is our like comfort zone. Many people are very adventurous. They like many different things. But I find that when I sit down with like my favorite kind of fabric, my favorite kind of floss, in my favorite hoop with my stand, it's like the stitches just flow. And I think that that's part of the practice becomes the mastery. I'm nowhere near mastery level yet. I'm not a master. But that is part of this journey, is if you're a new stitcher. I started when I was 16 and I look back at those projects and I of course go, oh my gosh, what was I thinking that I gifted that to my mom as a pillow? And Mom goes, I love it because look at how much time that is. And you at 16, 17, 18, when you could have been out up to no good, like some of your friends, were choosing to spend your time generously working on something with an end goal of gifting it. And that's, I think, the thing about this community is it is so generous, is that much of what we do, we give away. Most of the things that get fully finished are not for me. I have a drawer in my craft room of things that are fully finished that might eventually get finished for me, but the vast majority have been a gift for my husband, a gift for my daughter, an ornament for my daughter, ornaments for my brother and sister-in-law, my mom's ornaments. So I've got to find something to do for my dad each year. And I think that the first of these Sunday stitchings, or Sunday stitching, or whatever it's called from Heartstring Samplery, that's a Words from Amazing Grace, I think that's what I'm going to do. Because he sang that to me pretty much every night for the first 3 years of my life. And I gave him a wind chime this year that I found on Amazon that is tuned by a professional musician. Sorry, I'm off on a tangent. That's tuned to the opening notes of Amazing Grace. And he's one that he secretly gets verklempt about things. And so he kind of said, oh, yeah, that's neat. Okay. And my brother starts joking about it or whatever, like, do they have one that plays like Back in Black or whatever? I was like, that's my brother though. And he kind of got up and he goes, I'm going to go take the other one down and put this new one up. Like he had some kind of janky, they had one janky one that didn't really do anything. And I asked my mom later and I said, do you think Dad liked his wind chime? And her response was, did you not see him get choked up? I said, no, I did not. And she said, I think he loved it, but he doesn't understand how to like say that. And so I need to find something for him. And I think that might be it. I need to look at it again and see. But it's kind of a small. But anyway, that was a random tangent. So, practice leads to mastery. Notice I didn't say practice makes you perfect. Because that's the one thing about art, is that perfect is in the eye of the beholder. And sometimes the most perfect thing is insanely flawed, but it's the love and the care that came from it. And that's what I love about this community. It's full of love and care. If you made it to this point in my ramblings of nonsense, I wish you a wonderful weekend ahead. I hope you have had a wonderful, happy start to this new year. My words of the year for this year, I have 3 because I did 3 different things and it gave me 3 different words and I like them all, is intentional, believe, and oh my gosh, I can't even remember the other one. I just made my words today and I can't even remember what the third one was. Oy vey. Capture. So, no, that's not right. Yes, that's right. Capture, intentional, and believe. So, with that, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I will be back next Friday. This was my last of like my daily snapshots of life. I don't know if I'll do another daily series anytime soon. The next one that I might do would be Mania, but I'm not really planning on starting anything because I have a lot of Manias left from last year. So we'll see. Maybe I'll just kind of do a random little week of daily chats. We'll see. So I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. A great first week of January. I will see you on Friday, January the 8th for Flosstube number 86. And with that, I will say, so long, stitch well. I'll see you soon, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye, and I'll see you next week.